So what's the difference between appreciating a culture and appropriating a culture? I have no idea, but in this video, I'm going to learn about it. But first, I want to talk about, in the last few videos, I've opened up about my growth as a human being, how painting people of different cultures and identities and genders has made me, I think, a better person. And I really believe my art has improved as well because of this. I think of how Van Gogh and Da Vinci and Rembrandt and Monet and all of the great artists in history really only painted the people around them. All of their subjects looked like them. If you were French, you painted French people, and if you were Dutch, you painted Dutch people. Their options for models were limited to the people living near them. Sure, some artists like Gauguin famously traveled to Tahiti to paint the indigenous people there, but that was a rarity, and from what I've read, Gauguin was a horrible human being who mistreated the people there too. The point here is we're in the 21st century. We have the world on our phone. We can engage with people from different cultures and religions and learn about their lifestyles and customs, and as artists, I think this is an amazing gift. To be able to paint people who don't look like you, don't worship like you, don't dress like you, don't identify like you do. How are more artists not excited to learn about every beautiful iteration of humanity out there? How are there still people who will paint or draw the same faces over and over again when there's a magnificent rainbow of diversity and color and culture at our fingertips? Well, I think I know why. The first reason would be laziness. It's just easier to learn how to draw one body type, one face, one style of clothes, one skin color. It is just easier, and art is hard. It takes practice to get better, but it also takes courage. Courage to push yourself past what is easy. Courage to show the world as it really is. Diverse, different, sometimes chaotic, but always beautiful. So yes, artists will draw the same people in the same clothes and a lot of the time the same gender because it's easy, it's safe. That's one reason, and it's a valid reason, and I don't judge any artist who isn't ready yet to push themselves or their art beyond what feels safe. If you're not ready yet, don't feel bad. Make the art that makes you happy. Genuinely, please, make art that makes you happy. If one day you feel ready to push yourself to try drawing different types of people, great, but when you're ready, okay? Now, the second reason I think is a bit more of a complicated issue for artists. A lot of artists feel that depicting people of different cultures or groups is in some way wrong, that they can't draw a person of color because they aren't a person of color, that they can't draw someone of another gender because they aren't of that gender. They can't draw someone who worships differently than them or identifies differently than them or loves differently than them because they don't belong. I've heard a lot of young artists tell me this, and it's a valid thought, and I think it's a good thought to have. And I'm going to be honest here, never had that thought. It never entered my mind. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing because maybe before painting people of color or indigenous people or people in the LGBT community, I should have paused and asked if it was the right thing to do. I just didn't. I just didn't think about it. And that's my bad. If that was not the right thing, that's on me. But hearing a lot of younger artists ask this question made me do a bit of research. I've asked friends, I've posted the question online, had some good discussions, but today while making this video, I thought I'd do some real research, and in doing so, I had a chance to actually talk to someone from a website called CultureAlly. Though the way it's put together, it could be pronounced CultureAlly, but there's an E in there, so I don't know. I was texting with them and I didn't get a chance to ask how to pronounce it. I probably should have done that too. Anyways, they're a company that helps other companies navigate how to respect the cultures and identities and needs of their employees, which is a really cool thing. They had a page on their website about cultural appropriation, and it was really well written, and I asked them if I could use it for this video, and they said yes. So here's what they said, verbatim. What does cultural appropriation mean? Cultural appropriation refers to adopting customs, practices, ideas, or other elements of a particular people, community, or society inappropriately or without proper acknowledgement. This practice is usually done by a dominant group of people or culture appropriating elements of a minority group or culture. And then there's a section, cultural appropriation versus cultural appreciation, which says the easy to understand part is that cultural appropriation and cultural cultural appreciation are complete opposites of one another. Cultural appropriation has a negative connotation and invokes taking away elements of one's culture without proper acknowledgement, credit, or appreciation. Cultural appreciation, on the other hand, honors and respects other cultures, histories, and practices. Cultural appreciation comes from a positive place, usually with an interest in cultural exchange or diversification. Done correctly, cultural appreciation results in a better understanding, respect, and admiration of another culture. So that's what I got from the CultureAlly website, and I think it's really helpful to kind of figure out the difference between cultural appropriation and cultural appreciation. And I think a lot of it comes down to the intent. What is your intent? I think if you're looking at, say, a football team or a baseball team that uses indigenous people for their mascot, their intent isn't honorable. Their intent isn't good. They're using the likeness and a cartoonish likeness of a group of people for their own profit and amusement. And they're not doing it with any kind of respect. I think that's the definition of cultural appropriation. But cultural appreciation is, it's kind of there in the word. You're appreciating another culture. You're appreciating people of different genders and identities and people who worship differently than you, people who love differently than you. You're appreciating that and you're showing the beauty of that. And I think that's especially true for artists. I think it's our responsibility to show the beauty of the world and the people of the world. And there's just something magnificent about that. And I'm glad I did my research. I should have done it first before I started doing it, but I'm glad I did it, and I'm glad that a lot of you are pausing before doing it. But I'm hoping that this video gives you the courage to appreciate other cultures, to appreciate other people, and add that to your art and celebrate them. Now, obviously, I am not an expert at this. I'm just another fellow human being trying to understand what's right and what's wrong. And I just want to continue to have these conversations. So this is why I'm having conversations about feminism and LGBTQ issues, not because I'm a part of those communities, but because I think it's the right thing for us to do, to talk about that, to have these conversations and to learn and to become better. I truly believe that's what we should all be doing. We should all be striving every day to become better, more educated people. And in our art, we should be striving to make our art better and more impactful. And I want to have those conversations with you, if that's okay. Okay, before we finish this video, this is a 3-year-old painting that I did when it was Women's History Month back in 2023. And I didn't have the entire thing recorded. I did do a couple of little close-ups of the final edits. So I'm just gonna throw those here just so you can kind of see in real time me doing a little bit of the final bits of the art. But I really liked how this piece came out. And I really think we should have more conversations like this. And I really do appreciate you sitting with me and having these important conversations. We don't know everything. We can't possibly know everything. We don't understand what other people are going through, what other cultures, people of color, people, other identities in the LGBTQ community, or people with disabilities. We don't know because we're not everybody. But we have the ability to learn. We have the ability to communicate, and we have the ability to have our art be influenced by that. And I think that's a beautiful thing. Celebrating other cultures, other people, celebrating the wonder and beauty of the world in your art.